Hello and welcome to this week's live training, live sessions to help you make passive income with content mostly because that's what our main topic is about. One of the main ways that you make passive income is creating content that people consume, and if it's evergreen, you could sell it forever. You can keep adding to it, you can change it, you can make new products all out of simple pieces of content, all right? So these 20 minutes are actionable for you, designed to help you do just that, make passive income. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know, interact with me because I am responding to comments all the time. This week's topic is about how you find clues to profit, okay? And I really wanted to call this session like profit off of other people's hard work because that's essentially what we're doing. And in order to profit, you don't need to be doing all this crazy research and analyzing and spending hours and hours and hours trying to find what to talk about or what to write about or what to strategize about or what to make content around, because the answers are really already there. They're already like right under our nose, and we just have to know where to look. So I'm going to give you 3 of my favorite places to look for these clues to profits, and then I'm going to give you some other, ones that you can kind of use to supplement that research. And the crazy part about it is that these are literally in plain sight, these clues. And it's really amazing how people can just miss this or think that it's too hard. It's really, really not that hard. So the whole idea behind this is that whenever you're creating content, whenever you're creating something to sell, whether it's a book or a product or a video, whatever it is, you want to create it around a topic that's already popular. You don't want to be creating a topic that nobody cares about. You don't want to be creating a topic that is just not popular, if people don't care about. Maybe it's old news, maybe it's just not interesting. So how do you find what topics you can go after that people are excited about, that they want to learn more about? And even though there might be hundreds of pieces of content out there about this one topic, adding more and more content is absolutely perfectly fine. Other people are doing it, so why can't you? Why can't you profit off of it? You can. As I said, I always say there's pieces of pie for everyone. There's actually whole pies for everyone. My mentor actually said that, and I totally agree with it. There are whole pies for everyone. The first way of going about finding these profit clues, my favorite, is, and this is actually if you, let's say you already know your niche, right? You already know like what you're going to be talking about. I like to join other people's lists that are in that industry already. So let's say I'm in the sales niche, right? I would join other people's lists that are talking about sales or selling. So maybe like Brian Tracy or Jeffrey Gittermore, people like that who are already icons in the sales industry. And I want to see what kind of things they're talking about, because if they're talking about it, then they probably not only have the experience and the knowledge and already the clientele who's asking them questions about these topics all the time, but they might even also have a huge like research team in itself or customer support team in itself that's collecting this data that they already know that it's popular, and if they're spending their time on it, then you should be spending your time on it too. So if they're sending out an email blast about a specific problem that people are having, let's just continue that in, the sales industry, like, what do I do if I run into the objection of I cannot afford it, right? Which is like the main objection people get in sales, then you know that that's probably an important thing that you should be talking about too. So when I'm on these people's lists or I go to their blogs or whatever, I'm checking out like what kind of free gifts are they talking about? What kind of posts are they writing about on their blog? What kind of videos are they doing? What are they talking about? So just, you have to start paying attention, because other people in the industry that's leading in that niche industry will give you ideas on what's important and what you should be talking about too. So that's number one, is get on people's lists that already are influencers in the marketplace and start to follow what they're doing. And you can follow them everywhere, not just on their list, but on their Instagram, on their Facebook, on their YouTube, whatever it is. You should be following them in all these different places. Pinterest is a really great place to get ideas on what's popular and what's being talked about in your niche. Let's just say I'm in the market to reduce my stomach fat. What are the best foods that will help me do that? Here we go. Look at this one. So now we're not really looking for the content. What we're doing is we're clicking on this post and we're looking at how many times this has actually been pinned. So the clues on Pinterest are actually in the amount of pins that somebody has. Of course, the number of pins have to do with the amount of traffic that's coming in. Not all pins are just organic from Pinterest. Some of them are people sending traffic to Pinterest, sharing on group boards and things like that. So you will get answers. And I know the one that I saw actually this morning actually got pinned 1,000 times, and it's not even showing up in the search results here. But maybe we talk about apple cider vinegar. Is apple cider vinegar important? Well, there we go. 2,000 pins right here. So we can just keep kind of doing this research. This one, 25. So you don't know, maybe it's the image itself or maybe it's the topic. In this case, it might be a little bit of both. So the image is not that great. I'm not even quite sure what that is. Like, is that candy? Is that, I really don't know. So, and that's another thing that you can actually use here for your research. Like maybe that's like a really good topic, but the images that's using is not that great. And of course, if you're selling something, whether you're writing a book or you're doing a product, guess what you need? You need images to sell. So that image, not so hot. But let's see, when we talk about like, lemon and honey, if this is the stuff that we should be drinking, 97 pins. So not such a bad idea of what to talk about. Now, this is not for us to post on Pinterest. That's not what we're talking about. We're just talking about ideas of niches, of sub niches, of the topics that we can talk about that will raise interest, that's already working, and so that we don't have to reinvent the wheel. We can just use the research that's already here, already in front of us, already in plain sight to give us ideas. Okay, so this is not about like Pinterest marketing or anything like that. We're just getting ideas of content and we're getting ideas of images as well, because they both go hand in hand with eye-catching for the person to look at your content, whether it's anywhere. It could be on Pinterest, it could be on Facebook, it could be anywhere on a Udemy marketplace, anything. So this is a really great tool to do some research on, to see what's already working. This is one of my favorite ones to do. My second favorite place is YouTube.com. YouTube is really one of my favorite places to do research for popular content for two reasons. Number one is to do what we just did, see what's working right now, and also to learn, right? So let's just type in belly fat Just do belly fat workout. I mean, look at this. If we want to talk about weight loss and we want to talk about belly fat, hello, 5.2 million views, almost 800,000 views, 2.7 million views. Help men fight belly fat. So that's a good idea, right? Maybe going to the gender, very, very popular topic. So what you would do is, like, let's say you have an idea about your topic, you would type it in YouTube and then you would see how many views that is actually getting. So let me see, if I was interested in grow your own tomatoes. Okay, 3 million views, grow tomatoes from tomatoes. Okay, so these are the things, these are how you can you see how you can kind of get ideas, more ideas from the content that's already being posted. And then ideas stem from ideas, stem from ideas. So you can just go on and on and on forever. You see how you don't have to like struggle in your mind to be like, oh my God, what can I come up with? Now, the most important thing, and I always talk about this in a lot of my sessions here, is you have to pick a good top niche, top layer niche for this to all work. Because a top layer niche is weight loss, is make money online, is how to publish on Amazon. You know, those are top niches. That's general. And then you then after that you stem down and you pick your sub niches, and that's where you get a lot of traffic, because then you could say, you know, with weight loss, how to lose belly fat for females, the top 10 ways for women between the ages of 30 and 40 to lose belly fat. You see how we're getting very, very, very sub niche down? That's how we get people in. And that's how we're in a general niche, and then we're kind of, you know, working inside the little crevices of that niche. Okay, hopefully that you start to understand this. So those are my top 3 ways to get good ideas. Now, the other kind of supplemental things that you can do is obviously Facebook. You can see what's working on Facebook. Also very much depends, Facebook really depends on, I don't want to say popularity, but yes, popularity, right? People, if you don't have a following and you post something, it could be the best topic in the world and nobody's going to see it, unfortunately. But if you're a very popular person that is marketing in that niche, you can talk about pretty much anything and people will like anything that you post. That's just the way it is. So you might not get a lot of true senses from the Facebook research. Another one that you can do is, actually I just thought of this one on the spot because I was referring to it earlier, is you search on Udemy, see what stuff people are liking. What you can do is you can see some, I know that they used to show how many people, were in the course, but you can also see like how many reviews. There's like 135,000 reviews on a topic. It's a popular course. Another site where you can see what kind of things are selling is Etsy. I think Etsy, if you're into like the physical products and maybe the template stuff, you can see how many people are buying those particular products. They'll tell you how much. On Amazon.com, you'll see that in the reviews, not only the reviews, but also the sales rank. So the lower the sales rank is, the better the selling of the product, pretty much. So if a sales rank is like in the millions, that's not a good thing. But again, also, the marketing plays a lot in these things as well. So you always have to kind of keep that into consideration. So it's good to kind of like start from the top, and like I talked about earlier with Brian Tracy and Jeffrey Gittimore about the sales example, where, you know, look at what they're doing and they're going to have the most influence there. And then another new favorite place is a site called Quora. I won't go and log on just because I'm in an incognito window, but Quora is a great place to do research. People are asking questions there all the time on every single topic under the sun. So you'll see the amount of responses that you get on a particular topic, and then you can kind of rate that topic in the popularity. And again, not only can you see the popularity of content, but you can also see you could also learn about a topic too if you're interested in that. All right, so that concludes this session today. And to sum it all up is you want to focus on things that are already working and do your best to make your job simple. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Just see what's already out there. See what these popular sites are showing you already. Make note of it, and you can literally have unlimited content that you're talking about for years and years and years if you pick the right niche and then you sub niche down and start posting content with those topics that you find, those hot topics of interest. All right, I will see you next time on the live session. Thank you so much for joining me.